Welcome back everybody to the Zeusdaz Unemulated Retro Game channel. I am your host Zeus and it is shit game time once again, which means yes, it's Friday. Great times, looking forward to the weekend, unless of course you're working. I pity you. So what we got this time? Human Killing Machine, the unofficial sequel to Street Fighter. Again, came out by US Gold. Let's have a look and see if I have a bit more information about it. Yes, published by US Gold, and I'll say one thing, this is the only version I can't find a single tier text label on it, so I'm not sure here if, unlike the other versions were developed by tier text, whether this one was or it was sent out to another in-house developer. I do not know. It probably is tier text, I'm not sure, but either way we're looking forward to a great game here, I'm sure. Cough cough. So who has requested this? YouTuber Tyrantabyss. Hello mate, thank you very much for your shit game time paid request. He wants me to banish this into the poop chute forever. It probably will go that way because A, it's featured on this show, and B, I've done the Amiga version. The what other version have I done on this? Oh, the Amsterdam version as well. That was requested some time ago. The Amiga version had me in absolute stitches, mind you. But anyway, let's get on with this. One thing you'll notice, being a tier text game, Commodore 64 has got music. So someone in tier text, if this is tier text, had a bit of talent. So here you are, again, like the American version of Street Fighter 1, tiny characters. And every time you hit them, the blue border will come up. And when they hit you, a red border will come up. But the trouble is, what's really lame about this game is the enemy's energy keeps climbing. So unless you get a lot of hits in quickly, you can't really defeat them. Which I just did. Backgrounds, very NES looking. Can this guy actually hit me? He's not even doing me in. Oh, there we go. He does do a little bit of damage. I was going to say, collision texture is awful. I certainly haven't got any cheats on. Well, I've got the press certain key to get to the next enemy, so we might do that. Yeah, music's pretty good, but I can see after a while you'll get pretty bored with it. But the Amiga version, you can't get anywhere in the 16-bit versions because the enemy's energy is just climbing back up so quickly and you just can't get near the damn enemies because every time you crouch down you sort of push yourself away. It's a terrible game engine, same game engine as Street Fighter 1. Right, well, I've beaten the first enemy. Oh yeah, we're beating up a dog. Yes, something I do not justify. Poor little Poochie probably just wants to have a little game. I mean, look at that! Fuck me, look at that! He's hit me twice and all my energy's almost gone. And you can't get near him. Look, the collision text is awful. I'm literally punching him through the neck and nothing's happening. So I'll do the leg sweep. The old famous cower down like a coward. What makes me... See, look, my energy doesn't climb up, does it? No, but the enemy's does, which is just ridiculous. Now, remember now, I can't get past this stage. I had to get a friend of mine, shout out to Camille's, who developed a load of cheats for me at the time to stop the enemy's energy from climbing and my energy from falling. See, look, he's got full energy now, and I'm right down to my bloody... My energy does creep up, but much slower. And look, I can't even... Again, why would you take on a dog? You could have anything. One bite and you could be game out. Look at that, it's ridiculous. And the cover again to this game. which I was going to show here, but you can see for yourself. It's got a guy that's more like out of the film Commando. He's got a massive bloody knife he's pulling out. He's got a huge set of dynamite sticks strapped to his belt, and it's called the Human Killing Machine. You don't kill anyone in this, you just knock each other out. It's a fighting game. So I don't understand, because your fighter is just like he's somewhat doing, you know, he's just out of UFC kind of attire. Look at that, it's ridiculous. I'm going to press the C button. Oh, actually, I'll press the 1. Get a few more lives back. So I've got a full set of lives now, and now we're going to go on to the next fighter. Let's do that. I don't like putting cheats on for reviews, but I'm not going to get past this level otherwise. Travel to Amsterdam. Oh, here we go. Now this had me in absolute fucking stitches on the Amiga version, because the first one you fight is a lady of the night. It's a prostitute. But the second fighter, it is not a bigger prostitute. It is a fucking transvestite. I don't care what anyone says. We're talking about Amsterdam here. This guy is butch as fuck, and he's got a skirt on. See this fighter here. Because the characters are so small in this version, I don't. Yeah, you're not going to really tell. But you check out the Amiga version, and you can see the difference between the two, quote, ladies of the night of Amsterdam. The first one does look like a lady, dressed up basically as a night gal, prostitute, whatever you want to call them. But the second fighter is not a woman. I don't care what anyone says. It is not a woman. It is a butch bloke dressed up in women's attire. he literally is a cross-dresser. Or some kind of what you call transgender thing now, where nowadays it would be like, nope, I don't care if I'm 6'4", I don't care if I've got a hairy chest. I am a woman. So yes, laughable. Another game that wouldn't fly today. But to appreciate what I'm talking about regarding the second character of Amsterdam, you've got to check my Amiga version. Check the Amiga version out. You see what I mean. Check either my unbugged long play of it, or my. No, I don't think my shit game time. I don't think I got that far, so you wouldn't see it. So you'd have to check the long play version. In fact, I'll put that at the link at the end. I usually put shit game time links up, video links, but I'll put that one up, the unbugged version of the Amiga version of Human Killing Machine. You can check it out yourself. The second female character. You telling me that's a fucking woman? Right. So we're getting through these are quite easy, much easier than the other versions that I've played. Again, music, same music, will get a bit repetitive. I quite like the, do I like the border flashing every time you hit them? I mean, it does tell you instead of having to keep looking, oh you bitch, without having to keep looking at the energy bar. Come on, you. Yeah, it's like all the other versions are literally like Street Fighter 1, same game engine. Jesus, what happened there? No. Let's get a full set of lives. You're not cheating me out of victory like that, missus. Going down. Right, now we get what I call the cross-dresser, tranny, transvest, whatever you want to call it. It is not a female, this is a bloke. Helga. And now, honestly, if you saw this on the Amiga version, it is not a woman, I don't care what anyone says. Did have me in stitches when I was playing the long play of it. Oh, he was easy. No, it's a he. Helga. Yeah. I'm getting quite through these quite easily, actually, aren't I? So there's no cheats apart from getting past that dog. Well, actually no, I've put extra lives as well, haven't I? So fair enough, but I've not got an infinite energy sheet on. Again, you don't get any special moves. God, one hit took almost my whole life away. So that's you done. And now where are we off? Spain? I think it's Spain. So Barcelona, Spain. So these are basically all European countries, apart from the last one, which I think is Beirut. We've done Moscow, Amsterdam, now we're in Spain, and then it's going to be Germany. So yeah. There's also no title screen in this as well. Arm is strong. Yeah, so the cover of that magazine, and this guy's got a bloody cane, right? So he's basically a matador, and yet he's walking along. Look at that, he's just sliding along. That's awful. Awful. And I think in the German one, he's got a constant supply of wine bottles that he throws at you whilst holding the serving tray. Now that takes some skill, doesn't it, to be a fighter and be able to fight with holding up a beer tray and throwing glasses of wine at you. That takes some balancing tricks, that does. It's just laughable. And of course you fight a bull after this. Yeah, who the fuck is going to take on a bloody full-grown male bull? With just your fisticuffs. Oh, God. So yeah, no special moves. As I said again, the cover of the cassette doesn't represent this game at all. It's like, I can imagine if it was a game called Commando. You know, he's got a green beret or whatever. He's got a knife. He's got a string of dynamite. There's nothing to do with this, unless it's representing the final game boss, where he literally is. You're fighting a terrorist because he's got a massive bloody. Look at that. The game boss, the last fighter, has got literally a rocket strapped to his back. So maybe it's supposed to be him on the front of that cover, and not Quan. This guy, Quan. Who the fuck thought of that name? Quan. Look at this! Would you take on a bull? You realise how hard a bull's head is? You can literally hit it with a hammer and it would just shake it off. And there's me coming along. It floats up as well as if it's been knocked out. It must weigh 1.5 tons. Oh. Gets worse, doesn't it? Oh! I wouldn't crouch and... Yeah, you got me good that time. Brutus. Brutus the Bull. Just keep jumping in and out. It's very like... And it's taking me... Oh! No way! Oh, that's not fair! Come on! That's not fair. Look at that! He's almost killed me already, wasn't it? But I'm not surprised he's a fucking bull. You're not gonna last. Look at that! It's ridiculous. I need to put more lives on. I'm going to, because I want to get past this guy. I want to get past this beast. Jesus. Yeah, let's put 5 lives back on. Yeah. The only way to beat him is to jump in and out and hope for the best. Hey! It's like the way he launches up in the air for a split second. And in fact, he's over 1.5 tons in weight. And I can literally kick him with 6 hits. Kill him. There you go. Now, if you can beat the shit out of a ball, you can take on anybody. And now we're going to Germany, if I remember right, where you've got seriously stereotype stuff going on here. You've got a guy who's got the old, is it Leydenhogen? I can't think what the uniform, their traditional, you know, beer festival they got. But you again, on the Amiga version, you'll see them much more in their clarity, much more clarity in what they look like. This is just very small matchstick men. It's very hard to see them. Hans, yeah, that's him. The beer man. Yeah, it's just yeah. What do they call it? Am I saying the right name? Leydenhoek? I can't think what the name of that dress sense is that Germans wear during the beer festivals. So he's basically one of these. Yeah. I only have to knock him down a couple of times now because I'm so strong. Even though I've been cheating like crazy. So was this programmed by Tyrantabyss? It's the only version that I can't find a Tyrantabyss label on. It must be. Why would you send one version out to a different developer and all the rest? Now again, it seems that the Spectrum version is the best, simply because big characters, moves quite quickly. Unfortunately, it has the same game engine as the Street Fighter 1, but the backgrounds are drawn very nicely. Whoever did the backgrounds had a bit of talent. So here we go. This guy he's holding up a bloody wine tray and he's throwing wine bottles at me, or beer bottles at me, look. And yeah. This game has no ending, of course. Most Tyrantabyss fucking games didn't. You just loop around. However, I'll put this in the end as well. You might have missed it, I don't know, but I took a lot of time merging the arcade Street Fighter 1 soundtrack with the full game of the ZX Spectrum. And I'll tell you what, if the ZX Spectrum version of Street Fighter 1 had some AY music on it, it would have made a lot of difference. And of course, maybe the AI of the characters, the enemies, were a little bit smarter, then it wouldn't have been so bad. So I'll put that up as well. It's called Street Fighter 1 Zeus Edition. ZX Spectrum. That'll come up in one of the videos. So I'll put that up. I'll put the Amiga version of this up in full so you can check out the characters. Now we're going to Beirut. So here's the only country now. It's not in Europe. So we're going to terrorist country now. And I'm wondering if the game art has anything to do with his final boss. Because this guy's got a rocket strapped to his back. The second guy in this country. Because it certainly doesn't represent the guy you're using, your character. So yeah, the graphics very sort of nezzy to me. Look at this guy, he's jumping all over the place like me. Oh, the animation. Now the Amiga version, the last character is just huge. I mean, he literally takes up the whole play area. It's terrible. And he's got like 2 moves, 2 frames of animation. It's just laughable. It was released completely bugged as well, but thankfully, but somebody had the time that could be asked to uncorrupt the graphics on it and produce a unbugged Amiga release of it. As I said, it's on my channel. So I think that's him. So here we go with the game boss, which is basically like Sagat with a fucking rocket launcher on his back. I've got to beat him one more time, if I have to. Die. Or knockout, whatever. Yes, it's pretty piss poor. So here we go. Here's the main antagonist of the game. So that's all he does: a punch and a kick. And you can't, as I said, you can't really see it on this because the character's so small. But he's got a fucking great rocket launcher on his back. Now, I'd just pull that off my back and point it at the guy I'm beating up, that's beating me up, and say, do you want to try it again? just, you know, I've got a tank right next to me and I've got a rocket launcher on my back and you're trying to take me on? Fucking insane. Yeah, it's easy now. The only characters you're going to have trouble in this version is the bull and the dog. It's the dog. The dog is the worst. The bull you can connect with a lot more. But the dog, I mean, these are easy. That's game completed. Even though I've added a few extra lives here and there, so it's not a real full completion. But that's it. And then you go back to Moscow, which I'm not going to do. No reward, nothing. Absolute cack, once again. So congratulations, US Gold, for bringing out such shite, for not listening to people the first time around the game as your Street Fighter 1 releases. This is just garbage. Yes, so that joins the Amiga, well, stroke Atari ST, because they're roughly the same. The Amiga and Amstrad versions, and yeah, if I had a gun to my head and said which one's the best version, it would be the ZX, simply because the graphics, the backgrounds are very picturesque, very pretty, very nicely done, and their characters are big. But the game engine, they use the same game engine as Street Fighter 1 on both 16 bits and 8 bits. Just lazy ass laziness. They tried to cash in on back of Street Fighter 1 and thought they'd love this. Fuck the reviews. Just fucking joke, isn't it? Just a joke. So that's Human Killing Machine HKM on the Commodore 64. So what are we going to give this? Alright, it's got music. Repetitive music, but it's got music. It's got no title screen, again. No end sequence. Collision detection sucks. Characters are stupid. Very highly stereotyped. I mean, taking on the fucking dog in a ball, really. And of course, the questionable second character of Amsterdam being a transvestite, cross-dresser, transgender, whatever you want to label. If you look at it, no doubt in my mind, it's a bloke dressed up as a woman. So check that out on the Amiga version. As I said, I'll pop that up in a minute. So along with that, you'll have the ZX Spectrum Street Fighter 1 Zeus edition. Please check that out. So let me know what you think. Me putting arcade music to the ZX Spectrum version, Street Fighter 1. And then you'll have another video come up to name your requests of if you want to place a request in a shit game time and a random shit game time. But what am I going to give this? Well, I've pretty much said my case. You'd be laughing at this. You won't be playing this more than 2 or 3 times, if that. Without cheats, you'll be very lucky to get past the dog, and then you'll get bored and sick and tired of it. And they asked, I think it was £10, £12.99 on disc for this. So with that in mind, I'm going to give it a... I'm going to give that 87 shits. 87 shits for Human Killing Machine on the Commodore 64. Please let me know down below in the comments what you think of this game, your thoughts. I'm always very interested in reading them and seeing how other people, how other players take games. Whether, oh no, I could justify this, pretty good game. Usually because of the result of heavily drugged up drinks that have been taken in. And those that are more down to planet Earth and go, my god, this is indeed absolute shite. Anyway, there you go. Middle fingers up to you again, US Gold. You deserve it, you bunch of wankers. Human Killing Machine on the Commodore 64. Shit game time, just for your pleasure. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Zeus out of Shitsville. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. See you next Friday.